So a little bit about what we do. I've been practicing this. I think the best way to connote this is that we're trying to stop the spread of AIDS. And we're doing that through innovative approaches using pharmaceutical preparations. And it's an incredible thing. Next year we're moving into clinical trials in Africa. And so a lot of what I'm doing is helping the employees at IPM manage their documents and collaborate online so that we can move from paper to digital. So some of the business challenges I've had are we have to deploy very rapidly. And I have a 90-day plan, and often we can't get it done in 90 days, but we'll be told we have to do this immediately. And of course you have old processes, old ways of doing things, using shared drives and so forth. And again, we don't want to derail the entire system when we're moving to this new approach. We also have to remain compliant with good clinical practices as well as the other compliant, the FDA, etc. We're in 3 continents: Africa, United States, and Europe. So we have a lot of time differences, so I can't fly everywhere to be there personally coaching folks, so that's another big challenge. And we don't have any headcount. We're a nonprofit, so we have to do with what we have and be successful and don't have any missteps. So as far as the challenges that I've really noticed around change management, and I'm sure you probably see this in your own organization, is you were not trained as information architects, or a lot of you, if you're not in technology, were not trained that way. So you love your email, you absolutely love creating folders on the shared drive and then can't find anything. And you have this idea of how to manage things, and it's all about me. It's my document, I know where it is, and I could care less about everyone else. And again, everything is still dependent upon an iterative approach. I can't come in and give a new system and say, okay, go do this. They'll just say, are you kidding? And walk away. So the approach that I've taken, and I've been at IPM for about 1 year, and we started off very simply in that we first replaced the intranet. No one really had that much there, but it was a small way to introduce the new technology. We're using SharePoint, which a lot of companies use. And then we looked for people who were looking for a solution to a problem, low-hanging fruit. So if you have a challenge similar to this, focus on one problem that then you can communicate throughout the organization, build excitement, and create a snowball. That somebody will be exposed to this, they'll say, oh wow, that was really neat. Can you help me with this problem? Take on another small project. And then before you know it, they're knocking down your door. Can't wait to use SharePoint. It's kind of interesting. Also, you want to look at iterative or high-touch, low-dose methods and my 3 C's. So let's talk a little bit about this. Back in around 2005, I first learned about personas. And I started getting more involved in usability and understanding what people in UX know about. And some of the techniques were very key to teaching folks how to use a new system. So I've adopted them, and of course this was without any formal training, it's common sense. So you think about what are the methods that you would get someone to adopt a new way. Focus groups, interviews, looking at how people complete their tasks, understanding really what they do in the organization, and how can you tweak things just enough so that they're changing and learning new methods. So I use a lot of visual tools. I don't know if you've ever seen a mind map. This is a knowledge management tool that helps create taxonomy or navigation, and it's based on a conversation that you have within a group, and you ask, tell me about your stuff, and as they're talking, they see it be created on the projector. Then this can be further honed, everybody is agreeing to it. Another thing is I use a lot of wireframes in order to create a paper prototype, and again, focused on usable navigation, helping people complete their tasks, etc. Communication, this is part of the 3 C's. Communicate, you can't communicate enough. I use video, graphics, training, user guides, quick reference cards. Every time I do something new, it has this entire suite of content that supports it. So my lessons learned. Don't forget, people have existing mental models. They have perceptions and opinions about work. And you have to understand where those come from, like a search box. It has to operate like a search box, and if it doesn't, it's confusing. So, like the Google model. So again, understand if somebody is used to shared folders, how do you overcome that? Don't underestimate the lack of end-user skills. They really don't know how to manage their content. Plan for external participants. One of the very first things was I needed to be able to communicate with an external vendor. I need to use this tool in order to do that, so I'm not sending files via email. And default's not suitable, and think outside the box. So that's it. Thank you.
Great.